Hey Art Nerds, a perspective grid like the one I have right here is a wonderful tool to help sort of understand the whole concept of one-point perspective and to sort of, make a mock-up of whatever drawing you have. And this perspective grid is one specifically for drawing like an interior space or a room. You can kind of see the back wall here, the floor, the wall, the ceiling, and then the opposite wall. And this is a really amazing tool, especially if you're trying to plan out how to get everything to fit in your room drawing, and just a great way to practice it before actually putting it on your final paper. And there's a couple things that I really wanted to point out. I do have some tutorial videos on how to draw like a bed or a desk or a dresser and windows and all those things. But more specifically, I want you to know how to get things to fit in the space. So I'm actually going to be drawing some things really quickly, okay? And the first one is I'm going to just quickly draw on a bed, and using horizontal and vertical lines to create the tops and the sides of the bed. So I'm imagining that this is the top edge of my bed, this is the side, and then I'll be using these orthogonal lines to get my bed coming closer to me using the orthogonals. So if it's supposed to be parallel with the ground but it's coming closer, it needs to be those orthogonals. This one right here, coming a little bit closer. And notice how sometimes these don't intersect on the actual paper. They'll intersect somewhere over here, and that is okay. Same thing with my floor. If I draw a vertical line straight down here, notice how it will not connect with my side as well, and that is just fine, okay? It just looks like my bed takes up the entire room. If you don't want that to happen, you can always adjust it. So I can always change it so that my horizontal line is here. Erase the extensions of those lines. Definitely don't draw as dark as me. I'm only drawing dark so you can see it better. And then having this line come straight down, and where it intersects is where it would be touching the floor. And remember that spot where it's touching the floor here, it's not coming closer to me. It is needs to be horizontal, just like the top of my bed here, and here it's not coming closer. It's the sides that are coming closer to me. Okay, so now I have sort of like a basic blocking out of my bed. Okay, and yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of details. Maybe it's off the floor a little bit. There's some legs on the bed. Maybe there's a blanket, some pillows, a headboard, but I don't care about that right now. I'm just trying to get everything to kind of fit in my room. All right, so now I want to get something like I'm going to try to fit in a desk, okay? And my desk is also, it's not going to be touching my back wall. I think I might have a trash can or something on this opposite, or maybe a light, okay? Now, right here is where my floor and my wall intersect, okay? You can see that a little bit better now. Now, if I want to create something where it's along this wall, but it's not touching this wall, I need to stay away from this line here. So I'm actually going to start and finish my desk. Right here is going to be my line. Okay, so this is where it's going to be touching the wall. I'm going to be raising it up. So this is the side of my desk. That's the top edge. Notice how it's an orthogonal. I'm just using these guidelines here. Okay, that's why I don't have a ruler out. And that's because that edge is coming closer to me, so it needs to be an orthogonal. And here's my drop down edge. Okay, and to make it look like it's going away from the wall, I need to use a horizontal line and go towards the center of my room, because if I went this direction, it almost looks like it's built into the wall, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to draw a nice horizontal line. I'm going to go about here, vertical line that will intersect with my top of my desk. Okay, and then I will continue making my cube using orthogonal lines that intersect. And then here's a vertical line coming straight from here. So this is the front edge of my desk. And I'll know where this stops because I'll follow this orthogonal line and this horizontal line. So we have here the top of my desk. Okay. Looks like a narrow desk, but that's okay. I'm not going back now. If I wanted to fix it, I can. And this is the front edge of my desk. And then I can't see through my desk, so I'm actually going to erase some of these lines. Now, there are times in which you don't have a big blocky desk, it's just the top and you can see underneath of it. Check out my video about how to draw a desk, and I go into more detail about how to get those extra details in your desk itself. We're just blocking things out, okay? So after this, it's like I want to put maybe, you know, my dresser. And once again, I don't want it touching my desk. Maybe there's a trash can there. Maybe I'll go a little bit further away. I'm going to go a little bit further away because I want it to be about here. Come about just as far as my desk is, okay? So I'm building where it touches the ground at the moment. I'm going to have it go all the way this way. And then it's going to be a little bit taller than my desk itself, okay? Making that nice vertical line. Orthogonal on the top edge because it's coming closer to me. A vertical coming from that corner. That will stop when it intersects with this horizontal line, okay? And I can't see through my dresser, so I'm going to erase this overlap, okay? Notice how right here we can kind of get the impression that there is a space between the desk and the dresser, okay? Just by leaving that space back here, okay? And then I'll be using an orthogonal line to finish this top edge. And I can't see the other end. Well, maybe I can tweak it. I'll tweak it. So I'm going to have horizontal line there. I'm going to put a vertical line in here so I can have the other end of my dresser. So this will be the front edge that faces me, just like this is the front edge that faces me and this is the front edge. And once again, erase all the extra lines because we cannot see through our dresser. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. Now, dressers have drawers in it, and if I want to have drawers that appear to be the same size, I need to make sure that I divide them evenly on the furthest away vertical, okay? And then I'll use my orthogonals to separate those out, okay? Not going to go in too much detail because I have a whole video explaining how to do this bit, okay? And then to figure out where my handles are going to go, because I want them right in the middle, I'll draw an X just like I do for windows. This is the line for the middle. So I can draw my handle right here, a handle right here, and a handle right here. And it'll give the impression that that's nice in the center, even though it's closer to this edge than it is this one on the opposite side. There you go. Not too bad. This room's starting to come together. Okay. Last thing that I really want to have in here is I want to have windows of a sort, okay? And those are very simple to put together. All you need is those vertical lines marking the beginning and end of your window. And then orthogonals to mark the top and the bottom. Okay. And if I want to have them on this side too, absolutely, let's throw it in there. I want a nice big window. I like lots of light. Okay. And then remember how I drew that X on the dresser? That marks where the center is, so my vertical line's right here if I want to divide it up. I can do that for both. Okay. So, the last thing that we usually like to have in here is some sort of shelf, okay? And I'm actually going to show you how to do it on my desk. So I'm going to convert my desk into a shelf, okay? Now, if you're doing a shelf and it's straight here on this edge, you're just going to see a rectangle because you just see the front of it, okay? If I had like, you know, maybe a goldfish bowl or something right here, okay? Here's my fish. Beautiful, cute, okay? But if it was super above or super below my vanishing point, I'd see part of the top or part of the bottom of my shelf itself. Now, a lot of times your shelf starts off with like a bookshelf, so it might start off more like my dresser or like this desk does. And to create that illusion that it has some shelves in it, you need to divide it out with however many shelves you need, just like I did with my dresser. Use those orthogonal lines to mark where the shelves are. And then you're going to add some horizontal lines, and those will intersect with wherever this corner line is that you don't see, okay? Because that shows you how deep the shelf is. Horizontal line, horizontal line. I'm going to do a little bit of shading here so you can see them a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of like how your shelves would end up turning out, okay? Now, just because I have things set up in these specific positions means nothing. This is just me blocking out the space. I found out, I have plenty of room. Like if I want to add a nice rug on the floor using my orthogonals and horizontals. I can insert a rug here. I could put in a lamp over here. I can put in a trash can. Get that in there, add some little details. Maybe I have some extra shelf things that are here on the wall above my, what it was, a desk, to hold some desk things. I could do almost anything to play around. But this is sort of just basics of how to use that perspective grid to really help you out in getting the basic outlines for all of your stuff in your room.